My stock 2015 Silverado Duramax just doesn't sit right. There are many ways to change the height of one of these trucks. It's kind of a matter of, do you want to bring the rear down or the front up? I'm not a fan of torsion bars, so eventually I think those are going to go, but that's not for today's episode. We're going to work on the rear and see how that ends up and then go from there. Put a coilover conversion on the front. I think that's in the works in the future. Not going to be hauling any big heavy loads with this. Eventually probably pulling some car trailers, but probably add some airbags in the future for that. So for the time being, I got some McGaughy's drop shackles. I went with McGaughy's as they're a pretty high quality company. I didn't want some cheap Amazon knockoff. These have good bushings in them. They're nice and powder coated. They seem like thick 1/4 inch steel. They should last because you don't want something falling apart in the rear in case you do have a heavy load on there. I've never installed drop shackles before, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know, we're just gonna kind of wing it like normal. Before these get installed, I do want to take some measurements. Got 43.5 here on the driver's side. Rear, I'm sure the front is significantly lower. 39.5. 42. And 39.5. Got to cut that little pinch weld out of the way to get this bolt off, because you can't get the bolt off because of the frame. Excellent design, GM. You couldn't have just put the bolt on this side, could you? Nope. Hey, there it is. Holy shit. That was way more difficult than it had to be. Way more difficult. But there it is. In all its glory. Hard part's over. Easy part should be now. Hopefully. We're in, boys. Wow, that sucked. Tight fit is an understatement, boys. Got this one in, the bolt started. That one, I gotta pull it back out so I can get the nut on. Fun times. That absolutely sucked and was a lot more work than I thought or had intended, and now I'm so dirty from that great GM undercoating. Plus the truck's just kind of old and it needs detail under there bad. One side done, bang out this other side real quick, get the final result, and then we'll move on to some more mods. This has not been fun. Not gonna lie, I've never struggled to do a modification that took 4 bolts and 4 nuts, and that took me hours. In fact, there's a spot where the socket can fall into like the leaf spring pocket, and it probably took me about half an hour just to get the socket back out because it fell just perfectly where I couldn't grab it. So I have a whole assortment of pliers and all sorts of other stuff trying to get that socket out, but yeah, it's done. Let me clean up this gigantic mess and get some final numbers. We got some other stuff to do that should be easier and more fun. Time to set it down. I haven't done a sneak peek yet, so hopefully it's pretty level. I did put the shackles on the lowest or highest bolt setting, so the truck should be the lowest it can get with this setup. Oh yeah, that's way, way better. But still not level. It is a lot better though. All right, on to something else. Taking a short break from doing the rear reverse level, let's go back in time a little bit and install some other mods, and then we'll move on to later mods tonight in this timeline, if that makes any sense. So previously I put in Auxito low beam and high beam LED bulbs because the factory halogens just plain suck and they look really ugly. That wasn't the end of the LED bulbs, that's just all the ones I had at the time. So Auxito sent out some more, so now I have bulbs for the fog lights and the reverse bulbs and the license plate lights. So it's time to throw all those in there and really kind of complete the look and bring it into the 21st century. Links for all these bulbs are below. Yeah, this is much easier than getting underneath it. That's for sure. That was about the weirdest looking bulb I've ever seen. I've never seen a fog light bulb like that, or any bulb. Clips on the top and bottom. Weird. Alright, got all the bulbs done, at least for now. They are much better, more modern looking. Big thanks to Auxito for sending them out. Links for those bulbs will be below in the description box. Yes, the truck is very dirty from the trip, so I gotta clean it up. I also have to do a full paint correction to it. I need to do a full undercarriage cleanup. I gotta get that dent out of the bed. There's a lot of just general cleanup stuff I have to do. For now, I want to remove these hideous grandpa side steps. And I know they kind of protect stuff from getting kicked up from the wheels and tires and hitting the paint, but I hate them. I really do. And boy, I have a lot of dirt and crap on my face. Whew. A little better. If my memory serves correctly, when I used to install these, it's just a whole bunch of 13mm bolts underneath, except The passenger side where the DEF tank is, if I remember correctly, that's kind of a pain. We'll see. Running out of daylight, gotta get it done. Yep, that was easy enough. Hopefully the passenger side goes just as easily. What kind of sucks is you can see the DEF tank way more with these running boards removed, but that's a problem for another day that we should be taking care of. A little more difficult. That wasn't terrible, just 2 more 15mm bolts. And how those worked is they actually kind of hooked up behind the DEF tank, slid in, and then he bolted it, but it was still a pain. See the DEF tank now, it looks pretty bad. Let's get some final unsettled numbers. 40 back there, 39.5 up front, 42 back here. Keep in mind the truck's not even close to being on level ground, so take it for what it's worth. 39.5 up front. As I suspected, not perfectly level, still sitting high in the rear. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like I want to level it out better, and then to accompany that, if I'm towing something, I'll get airbags for the rear as well. But overall, I'm happy with that. It looks way better, looks way less like a grandpa truck, especially without the side steps. This is only the beginning of the suspension mods. I got to get all new shocks all the way around. They look like they're leaky, and I assume that they're, they've got almost 60,000 miles on them. It's probably time to replace them. I want to do a whole undercarriage, like hardcore cleaning, pressure wash and everything, and see what I need to paint or restore that way. All the new LED bulbs looking nice, looking great. Thanks to Auxito for supplying them. Links for those will be in the description, as with everything else that I buy and put on this truck and use, tools, everything. Now, since I got the suspension somewhat more worked out than it was, I think I'm going to start looking at wheels and tires. I already am looking, I'm just not set on what I want at all. There's just so many options with trucks, and a lot of options of hideously ugly things as well. But I'm also looking at performance stuff too, and hopefully that'll take care of that ugly tank on the passenger side, if you know what I mean. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in a future episode.